Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. I'm going to talk a little bit about really what's going on the M&A front, mergers and acquisitions, very important conversation. I've got Kenneth Marks. He's a research advisor to American Express and founder and managing partner of High Rock Partners. Before we get started here, Kenneth, first of all, welcome to the program, and secondly, give us your elevator speech to get us ramped up.
Sounds great. Well, thank you for the opportunity to be here with you today. As you had said, I'm Kenneth Marks. I'm the managing partner of High Rock Partners in Research Triangle Park, North Carolina. We're involved in mergers and acquisitions and financing of middle market companies. Tends to be companies from a $1 million in revenue up to a couple $100 million. Primary industries for us end up being the technology, B2B services, manufacturing, distribution, which kind of mirrors what happens in our geography.
Okay. And how large is your company?
We were formed in 1999, so we're 15 years old now.
Wow, time goes fast when you're having fun.
Yeah,
so your clients are overwhelmingly mid-market.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And are you much into the enterprise level, or are they tending to do these kind of things, internally?
What do you mean by that, if you don't mind?
Yeah. So what I mean is so do you work much with enterprise-sized companies, or do they largely work internally versus the M&As? I mean, rather than the mid-market that would draw on resources like yours.
Yeah, we tend to on the sell side we tend to work with what's called the lower end of the middle market, and so we're working with the CEOs, the founders, shareholders of those companies as they think about preparing and selling their businesses. And on the buy side, we work with some larger companies to really augment their management team as kind of a corporate development function, helping them look at acquisitions, actually pull the process together from strategy to transaction to integration.
So what do you see happening out there in the merger and acquisition market these days?
Well, it's interesting. There's first off, there's a lot of activity, as you can imagine, and the three big drivers. Clearly private equity. The amount of money that's pumped into the private equity market over the last 10 years, and particularly even the last 3 or 4 years, there's about $500 billion, and it's $500 billion of private equity in the U.S. that is sitting in funds to be deployed. So that's putting a lot of pressure on the market, and a large portion of that, 60% or so, is targeted at the middle market. Second is you've got a lot of corporates, large strategics that these are the S&P 500 companies that are trying to grow. They're looking beyond organic growth to acquiring companies that will help them increase revenues and increase earnings. And then lastly, the thing we see in the middle market is the demographics, the baby boomers, that there's a significant number of the companies in the middle market are owned by baby boomers, and with the wave kind of going into retirement, it's putting it's creating opportunity in the space for both buyers and sellers. So
yeah,
and with all that activity and interest rates being low, we've seen valuations are at all-time highs again. I mean, even greater than what we saw in 2007, 2008.
Yeah, and meanwhile, a lot of traditional investments that people have done aren't getting the kind of response they'd like to get. Just a month ago, they saw almost all profits wiped out on the stock market that were accumulated over the last year. And so I would think those make M&As, and companies being involved in those deals and underwriting those and making things happen. That just makes them all the more attractive, doesn't it?
It does. It does. We continue to, over the years, if you track the investments where maybe traditionally you put money into stocks and bonds, more and more money is being pumped into alternative investments, which include REITs and private equity.
Yeah, absolutely. So How is 2014 compared to some other years?
It's one of the most active years that we've seen. I mean, no question, since 2008, from an M&A perspective.
Interesting. And 2008 was great until maybe this time of year, right?
Really, yeah. Late 2007 was really good, and 2008 started out okay, and then it didn't end so well.
Didn't end so well, yeah. I guess even before now, probably about June. Yeah, probably things really began to get weird. Yeah, very interesting, very interesting. And how big of a role is the lackluster profits from other forms of investment playing a role in this, do you think?
I think significant. There's kind of an underlying, if you talk to the larger buyers, you know, there's a tepid growth in organic for many companies in their just internal organic growth, and acquisitions provides a way of accessing new customers, getting increased revenue using capital that they have, and capital is you know, largely abundant for the public companies, and the larger the companies that are $1 billion and up, access to capital markets is pretty open.
So tell me about how deals happen, you know, for a company like yours.
We find that we end up responding to a lot of unsolicited offers where there's a client. We'll find a company in the marketplace gets approached by a strategic or private equity, and it's interesting enough to them that they usually pick up the phone and call their attorney and say, "Hey, I'm thinking about, you know, I've got somebody that's really serious about my business. How do I respond to this inquiry?" And usually we get a call from either an accountant or attorney on behalf of a client that says, "Hey, I've got a client that's interested in this deal. Could you help them think through it?" And a lot of times that's how we get involved.
Yeah, very good. Kenneth Marks, he is a research advisor to American Express and founder and managing partner of High Rock Partners. Where are you all corporately located by chance?
In North Raleigh, North Carolina.
Very good. Any final thoughts before I let you go?
No, I appreciate the opportunity to be on here, and the fact that we've had a chance to talk, and no, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
You bet. HighRockPartners.com. That's HighRockPartners.com. Thanks for being with us today. When we come back, much more for you. I am your host, Kevin Price. If you want to read your best content here, it does show up over there at usdailyreview.com. While there, like it on Facebook, follow it on Twitter. And this is The Price of Business.